Well, the under-16 social media ban is just shy of reaching the 2-month mark, but as we know, there are many apps and platforms that are still accessible to young people.
Lars May, the architect of the digital wellness movement, has worked with the likes of Oprah, Melinda French Gates, Hillary Clinton and the Duchess of Sussex in an effort to improve teenagers' relationships with tech on a global scale. And she might just have the secret ingredient to help families continue to navigate this new normal right here at home. And here she is, Lars May, founder of Half the Story and the co-founder of Ginkgo. Welcome back to the Morning Show. Nice to see you. You've had a bit of time to monitor our world first social media ban. All eyes on Australia with this at the moment. In your opinion, what did we get right? And maybe more importantly, what did we get wrong?
Well, first of all, congratulations. The ban is a starting point, but it's certainly not the full solution. One thing that we're seeing, because Australia drew a line in the sand, is that other countries across the world are taking note, like France. What you did right was you passed the law, and now we're taking it seriously. Now, I believe, to take it to the next level with the full solution, we have to make digital wellness education something that every child in the country is receiving. We have to be able to empower parents. They're taking a lot of the burnout. And we have to bring teens to the table. The reality is that a lot of teens are breaking through the restriction, or they're going onto other platforms that aren't being banned. And by having them be a part of helping to implement this solution, it helps actually change their behavior. The ban is just the beginning, but we need to focus on behavior change next.
Yeah, so on that point, Lars, these big tech companies, they know what they're doing. They've designed these devices and apps to be addictive. Maybe the parents need to approach their teens with a little bit more sympathy because they're the victims in all of this.
Absolutely. And I want to note that the average household has 500 screen fights a year. So if you're watching this and you're feeling scared, don't worry, you're not alone. But you're right. We need to stop blaming kids and taking screens away. What we need to start thinking about is how screens are really a symptom for things that our kids are going through. Screen time is just a number. It's just the surface. But a lot of times our kids are going to technology because they're feeling lonely, they're feeling depressed. And what parents really need to do is get to the root of that. But the best way to do that is actually by starting and telling your own screen story and talking about how tech is impacting your emotions so that you can get your kids to take down their barriers and also be honest with you.
Yeah. You personally had to change your screen habits to improve your own mental health. So what actually works in your opinion?
You have to scaffold your screen time. What's really hard about the world that we live in is that screens are the center of our emotional world and our social world. So what I like to do is to replace screen time with fun. I always have coloring books or bracelets. Valentine's are what I'm currently working on now so that I'm not on my device. When you are using a device, especially when you're with your kids, you always want to have less screens than people in the room, so that you're not all sitting on your screens together and that you're able to co-watch or call a grandparent on FaceTime. And then the last is that we actually need to start thinking about tech health as physical health. And we need to start talking to our kids and trying to understand, hey, how is tech making you feel today? In the same way that we're asking them about their physical wellness or how school was that day.
Okay, so how do we do all that?
So the first things first is you have to find something that your kids love doing just as much as being on a screen. My hack is always having friendship bracelets. Most kids gravitate towards them. So when you take screens away, it's just like taking a pacifier out of a baby's mouth. They need to be soothed. They need to be doing something else. So fill your house with analog activities. Create an analog bag that you can pull out when your kids are getting fussy and you actually need to swap that screen time. The other thing is just committing to screen-free weekends. For me, I do not use social media on weekends, and I've been investing in other activities like handwriting and calligraphy because it actually helps with brain health, and it's a really fun thing to do and a great way to keep in touch with your loved ones. And the last piece is just making it a habit every day, asking your kids, how was school? How are you feeling about tech today? These things are happening. It's a lot of overwhelm. You guys just went through a massive tragedy. A lot of young people are being served content that is constantly embedded in their emotions and their feed. And so it's so important that we can level with them about what's really going on.
Okay, as we say goodbye, lots of parents watching this right now, hanging off you every word. As we say goodbye, last piece of advice for parents in tackling this?
Give your kids undivided attention when you put them to bed and when you wake them up in the morning. Create a screen coffin. Make sure that you never bring your phone into your child's bedroom. That is the moment to create trust, vulnerability, and to get to the root of what's really going on behind the screen.
Good one.
Very good advice.
Right.
Thank you so much, Lars. If you would like more information about Half the Story or Lars May's other company, Ginkgo, you can head to our website for all the links.
All right, soon for you, we have